Photographers try too hard. I think we're often so driven to be competitive in the current photography climate that we often chase what we think will work rather than what we as individual artists would like to see in the world. For sure, I've been guilty of trying to force myself to make certain series and projects just to get seen, when really the best work usually just comes out of not really trying at all. I accidentally created a photo series of the same place over 13 years. It's just a cool spot I've consistently driven past no matter how life has evolved. I would drive past this spot on the river when visiting my grandparents who had a cabin in North Carolina, and I still, to this day, drive past the same spot often despite living in a completely different state than I did back then. It's not hidden or a secret, it's just nice and I'm drawn to it. What's cool about this series of images is that they're also different. They kind of follow my skill level and interests as a photographer over the years. It's kind of like my Taylor Swift eras, if Taylor Swift was kind of meh and not popular at all. I got my 365 project era, my OG film era, my vlog era, my small town photo project era, and my current film era, aka now. Seeing this series over time has got me thinking about what interests me most about a series of images. I've done so many photo projects over the years, but I think the ones that really stick with me and I care about most are about the passage of time. These images are just individual shots with no serious individual meaning until you look at them over a decade, and then suddenly they become more interesting. And this gets me into the main topic of this video. What do I think helps make a photo series great, or at least interesting? I think the key ingredient is patience. Now, I'm like the worst photographer ever. I think most photographers who are insanely good at the craft are naturally patient people. Photography is about pain and suffering, and we spend most of our time just waiting around, and I'm a super impatient person. I've gotten back into film over the past year, and honestly, it's been kind of tough. I like shooting photos and working on them the day I take them, and film has really forced me to change my nature. I think I'm most attracted to film right now because of the challenge it's posing to my nature of impatience, and I think my work is getting better as I challenge my impatient nature. Patience allows things to be more organic because the body of work can be whatever it needs to be if we're cool with letting time pass. So why are we in the photography game? To make more money, to become influencers, to capture our life, or to just be able to breathe? I'm kind of an anxious person, so I always feel like I need to explain or have a reason for what I'm doing, because somewhere along the line I was convinced that loving something isn't a good enough reason. But all this time, while I'm worrying about how to be a photographer in a viable way, the work was just coming out of me. And it was just happening, and my dumb butt was convinced that it wasn't good enough and I had to do it a different way. So if you're like me and you need photography just to survive on this earth, stop trying. Just let what happens happen. Let the work just come out of you. And I think that's the new motto of Double Negative from here on out. Stop trying. Say you're running upstairs. If you're focused on where you're going, you glide up the stairs effortlessly. But if we start counting the steps and looking at our feet, we're gonna trip and fall. And maybe I'm a weirdo in this regard, but I have a feeling there are others out there like me, or at least I hope there are. Wow, this has been kind of a weird video. If you made it to the end, thanks for watching. You can follow me on Instagram at Will Malone and subscribe if you'd like to see more of whatever this is. Man, remember when Fujifilm 100C was like $8 a box? Because that was an awesome time.